You know, it's times like these I feel like the late, great Owen Hart. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Because sadly, things are going to get worse before they even get close to getting better. We're dealing with an insane RAM apocalypse where every piece of technology is becoming incredibly scarce and also incredibly expensive to even purchase or buy. Where game companies are now retreating into their own secluded areas while also charging massive amounts of money for every single piece of hardware and not subsidizing a single thing. Rumors of insane layoffs happening across the gaming industry as well. And to make matters even worse, all these companies now capitulating to actual governments wanting to add your physical ID into all their services, tracking you, selling your data, and even getting hacked, and all of that data being released onto the internet to dox you as well. Sounds fun, doesn't it? And the literal proverbial cherry on top of this stained cocoa covered pie is going to be what Stop Killing Games is in fact fighting against. Actual companies wanting to stop you accessing any game whatsoever even after you've given them money. Even though SKG has made tons of headway, it turns out things are going to get even worse, and there has been some setbacks. Clearly, it's kind of weird though when you think about it. For some reason, SKG was having a really great run, yet all of a sudden, when Yves Guillemot from Ubisoft had a massive conversation, private conversation with the ESA, it turns out things got a little weird. Because according to VGC on Twitter saying this, a US bill requiring paid games to be playable after they shut down has failed to pass a Senate vote. Stop Killing Games says it will, quote, come back with an in-person lobbying presence and the funding to do this properly. Yeah, things are not going well at all right now, and clearly that bill that we wanted to have passed in California would have been a huge win for SKG. But the thing is, it's not about just that one bill. There's so many other ways that SKG could in fact be successful in this space. The problem though is, it looks like we're dealing with a lot more granular lobbying than people actually realized. And the real problem is what the ESA is going to be saying as well. Because when you hear what they have to say about video games, it's not gonna be good. And remember, the ESA is one of the main lobbying groups inside the gaming industry overall. Let's see what the article had to say though from VGC and go from there. With the article saying this, the Protect Our Games Act, which was proposed by California Assemblyman Chris Ward, was put to a vote at the California State Assembly last month, where it won with a vote of 43-16. The next step was to pass the bill to the Senate state, where it was debated and voted on again. Had this vote passed, a final version of the bill would have been created with House and Senate members before being submitted for final approval. However, as noted on the Reddit page of Stop Killing Games, a consumer movement seeking to preserve video games after they're taken offline to prevent them from becoming unplayable, as was the case with The Crew, the bill lost the vote at the state Senate after 4 Democrats voted yes and 3 Republicans voted no, and the rest abstained. Saying, quote, those abstentions matter, a campaign volunteer wrote on Reddit. In a committee vote, an abstention is not neutral. It has the same practical effect as a no, because a bill only advances if it gets a majority of yes votes. Not enough yeses means the bill stops here for this session. That is the loss. So let's stop here for a quick second. For some reason, a month ago, everything was peachy keen, hunky-dory, not a problem in sight. And yet recently, it turns out that after the ESA had their meeting with so many people inside of the actual game industry, now people are abstaining, senators aren't voting, and people are saying, you know what? Nah, we're not gonna do it. And here's the thing, I'm not talking about left or right or politics at all on this channel. That's not what I do. What I'm talking about is the actual preservation of your video games, the money that you spend on, the hard work you do to make that paycheck every single week. And they turn around and say, you know what? Give us $70. No, I'm sorry. Give us $80 to get a game without a disc that's all downloaded that we can take offline and remove your license from with at any specific time. PlayStation is even doing that with the movies you purchased on their own platform. 500 movies. gone that you actually bought. Refunds? I don't think so. Anything else? Nah, not a worry at all. Your entire digital future is in fact going down the toilet because they want to control every single aspect of what in fact is going on and what kind of content you consume the worst way possible. Don't buy that old game that has old private servers. By the way, this is called foreshadowing. We want you to buy the new game at a higher price to rebuy everything you bought before and then keep giving us more money when we shut that game down to make you buy the new one again. And the fact that we've gotten to this point so far and are still seeing resistance in this space where all we want to do is own the games we buy is basically pushing everybody into piracy. The moment a market disruptor comes into the space and people get to actually have something at an affordable price, that's when everybody else freaks the hell out. But then shitification ensues and everything goes down the tubes because they want to go ahead and line the pocketbooks of their actual investors and even shareholders instead of providing the actual service to the user whose money they're dying to get. But hey, you know what? That's one bill that was lost. It's not a big deal. SKG is going to be back on the warpath, doing things right, getting the proper fundraising, doing everything possible to make sure that we get to own our video games. But unfortunately, things get worse. And the way they get worse, you just have to read it to believe it, honestly. Because you're not going to believe it even when it comes out of my own mouth. Because according to Dexerto on Twitter saying this, Minecraft and Call of Duty community servers have been branded, quote, illegal and compared to the black market by the Entertainment Software Association. The comments came during a debate over preserving games after official servers shut down. Minecraft and Call of Duty community servers are illegal? Are we? Hello? Have we lost our minds? The last time I checked, if I wanted to play an older Call of Duty game on official servers, that would get my PC hacked. The only way to play games properly from Call of Duty back in those days is the community servers. And you want to talk about illegal? Hell, do this right now. Go into your Steam library and in the search bar type dedicated servers. Literally, all those programs are shown as illegal programs, even though they're part of the game itself. I've never seen a more idiotic, moronic, and stupid take than I have right now. There's no way this is an actual thing where people were walking around and saying, yup, community servers, dem's illegal, boys. But the crazier part is when you see who actually made that statement, it's all gonna come together. Minecraft and Call of Duty community servers have been labeled as illegal by the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA, during a Protect Our Games hearing. As shared by the Stop Killing Games YouTube channel, the hearing was discussing the, quote, ability to go on a community server in games. The author is stating, that's currently allowed right now, explained a member of the hearing, to which another added, that's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers, Call of Duty community servers, so it's an option that is out there in existence. The discussion is primarily around how users will be able to continue playing a game should the developer shut it down, to which community servers hosted by players could be a key solution. Oh, isn't that funny? The ESA, that same ESA that was lobbying against SKG, which made an entire letter, by the way, which of course Ross completely debunked as well and totally shut down the entire aspect of it, was also the same ESA hanging out with Yves Guillemot of Ubisoft, who went ahead and created the game called The Crew, which is the entire reason why Stop Killing Games is even in existence after they pulled the actual game of no longer being active at all to be used whatsoever. Yet community servers, the things that everybody uses, the things that are part of your video game, especially on PC. And hell, the fact that you can go on Minecraft's own website right now and go ahead and get the files to make your own community server, and they went ahead and called it illegal. We're all criminals, boys. Lock us up. Put us away. We're all going to the big old jail in the sky because we wanted to make a community server for Call of Duty. We wanted to make a community server to keep a game active that the company's no longer selling and no longer making any money from because we just wanted to play the damn video game and actually own the damn thing. And if you think I'm kidding around, if you think I'm joking for whatever reason, here's literally what was said in that meeting.
That's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers. Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal and they are not in any way affiliated with Microsoft. Microsoft for Minecraft has gotten a lot of criticism.
Brother, what are we doing? These are the people making our laws. These are the people doing everything in the space to go ahead and make our world even worse every single time. But it gets worse. I don't know how it gets worse, but it gets worse. Check this out. What? With the ESA saying, quote, Microsoft for Minecraft has gotten a lot of criticism because of those community servers not employing the same safety standards that Microsoft does on their Minecraft servers, continued Gibbons, to which the committee responded, so it's like the black market of video games? Gibbons from the ESA then replied, yes, in fact, we consider it piracy. We have pending lawsuits against private servers right now, and the United States Trade Representatives in their notorious markets reports on counterfeiting and piracy have named some of these big private servers as a notorious market. With the ESA responding and saying this, quote, private servers infringe on the intellectual property rights of game publishers. Publishers reserve the right to exercise their rights against them. The provision in CAAB 1921 that proposed these servers as legitimate alternative to keep games running raises concerns about a publisher's ability to enforce their IP rights. In addition, private servers operate with no oversight from the publisher and do not uphold the same trust and safety standards. This could create an unsafe environment for players and be counter to the industry's commitment to fostering safe and fun gameplay for all players. Now look, if you're a constant viewer of this channel, you know exactly where this is going to go, and the foreshadowing is amazing on this space, but the insane inability for the ESA to even understand what private servers are and considering them close to piracy and a black market is actually wild to me. Literally insane across the board. It's the only way people can in fact play their video games after the actual holder of that game or developer and publisher shuts the game down. How is it piracy, by the way? And how is it an issue if the actual publisher no longer sells the game to you? Is no longer active? Oh, that's piracy now. No, don't try to put that label onto people. It's people going around and saying, I paid for this product. You no longer make it work. Guess what? It's my product. I bought it with my money. You don't want to give me the refund? I'm going to make it work. It's not about IP regulations. It's not about IP holdings. It's not about piracy. It's about the fact that I purchased a product that was then removed or delisted or defunct because the actual publisher wanted to squeeze more money out of my pocket and sell me another copy of it instead. And I don't want to buy that game. I already bought it before. Don't put your heads in my pocket, clowns! But the thing is, I'm not the only one who's angry and also calling out their hypocrisy. Check this out. With Narantia Gaming saying this, they literally want you to own nothing so that they can control and monetize everything. With no inconsistency on Twitter also saying this. What? Minecraft servers are literally supported by Mojang. They literally hired the core bucket server developers back in 2012. As long as you follow their TOS, they're perfectly fine. And even Tim Sweeney himself said this. The official EULA says it's fine, citing the actual Minecraft website and even posting the picture of servers and hosting. Okay, all right, listen. When the guy you hate the most says the right thing, hell, at least a broken clock is right twice a day. The fact that even Tim Sweeney, of all people, understands, wait a minute, this is part of the EULA. How could this be illegal? What's the actual point of this? These guys are morons. It really goes to show that the ESA is in fact completely idiotic. Or, in my opinion, something else is in fact going on. Something else is part of it. And it really pointed out some specific words that the ESA was saying during this entire deliberation. And it was the words of Microsoft's safety, Microsoft getting flack for the actual setup of community servers, and also for things like with Call of Duty. It's all about the safety of the players and how Microsoft can implement that safety net for those users who want to play video games in the safest way possible. Are things coming together? Are they clicking? It looks like what they actually want isn't just making private servers illegal. It looks like what the government, the ESA, and many lobbyists in fact want is to make sure you put your ID in to play a video game. Because according to Reclaim the Net on Twitter saying this, the House just passed the Kids Act 267 to 117, a Trojan horse sneaking federal online ID checks into kids' safety bills. Platforms must, quote, know or should have known if you're a minor or face liability. That forces age verification, ID checks, and tracking for everyone. Meanwhile, the Senate version of KOSA keeps the dangerous, quote, duty of care provision that would force platforms to censor broad categories of protected speech to avoid liability. There's a huge rift. Senate authors called the House bill dead on arrival. Neither chamber protects freedom. One pushes ID checks, the other pushes algorithmic control. Gridlock between two evils is currently the only thing stopping a full assault on online anonymity and for speech. With Stop Killing Games on Twitter saying this, for, quote, stop killing the internet, the Kids Act passed the U.S. House of Representatives, according to NBC News. Contact your U.S. senator and tell them you do not support verifying your age to use the internet. At the EFF even has a template. That's right, the ESA, Jennifer Gibbons, who's the vice president of the ESA, and every other major government and company in this space doesn't care about you. They don't care about video games. What they're trying to do is get your information and get your ID and remove private community servers away from them. Why do you think they consider it piracy? Because they can't control who's playing on the server, what they're saying, what they're doing, or in fact, what's even happening. And that's going to be the worst case of all. These lobbyists, these companies, these corporations, all they're trying to do is remove access from you on everything you can possibly own. And while doing so, asking you, begging you, pleading with you, forcing you to put your ID into the video game so that way you can actually use it. Like the Reclaim the Net post said, it's all about platforms. And what is Xbox? It's a platform. What's PlayStation? Another platform. What's Twitter, Steam, Epic Games, and every other console manufacturer right now building? An entire platform. They're not building consoles because they're connected online. They're not building just simple things to play video games because now you have access to friends lists, group chats, community pages, and everything else across the board. And what they're doing is trying to enact control to see what you're saying, see what you're doing, sell your info to the highest bidder, and then restrict what you can and can't play. An actual worst outcome than we've ever in fact seen. Watching as the entire thing just collapses all around us really puts a couple of things into perspective for me. Number one, I feel like Stop Killing Games has a way bigger fight than anyone could ever in fact imagine. Not just with preserving video games. It's clearly going to get into the space that gaming is going to be, funny enough, the forefront picture of what's going to be happening, whether or not we're going to be having to put our IDs into our phones, into our PCs, into our game consoles to even play a video game or use the internet in the first place. And that is incredibly terrifying because we all saw what happened previously with the T app. Remember that one, boys? Yeah, I bet you do. Where all those IDs, all those pictures flooded all online because they had the inability to, in fact, properly collect that data or even protect it. Where Discord went around and had all their stuff leaked online as well, forcing UK residents and many European residents to put in their ID or face scans as well, or using algorithms to determine how old somebody in fact is. And the crazier part is Discord is still going through with it right now too. We are witnessing an entire shift in the gaming industry, not just in terms of how you play your games, how much games cost, or whether or not your games are going to be able to be played years after they're no longer for sale. We're witnessing an industry where it's all about complete control, monopolization of you and your ID and who you are online, and then connecting those two pieces together to either sell you more product, sell you more goods, sell you more services, or sell your information and make money that way. Boy, it's almost like it's exactly what Microsoft has been doing the entire time. And Microsoft, by the way, are also some of the big brain brads going around and asking for ID verification already in other countries. It's just a matter of time before it hits you back at home. I tell you what, I'm not a man who goes to church, but I'm praying for SKG, and I'm praying for what they're going to be doing. Because it looks like, in my opinion, that little movement might be the only thing standing in the way between you and literally using the internet you've grown up with and the one you actually like. I feel like it's bigger than video games, but I feel like we're going to be using video games to determine the actual outcome and fate of the thing we use literally every single day. What a wild world. But as always, I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comments section down below. Do you think the ESA is right on their assessment on private servers and the safety of actual users? Or do you think it's a bunch of hot air? And do you actually believe that you're going to be needing to put your ID into any sort of platform to play video games in the future? I want to hear what you guys got to say. And speaking about what you got to say, here's the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Wiley Peyote saying this: somewhere along my lifetime, the definition of what value must have changed without my knowledge. Wiley, that's literally correct. It's kind of weird what we're seeing in the gaming space right now, or even just in general, with everything going all digital and no longer owning anything, and them also asking for our IDs. Looks like there's no value for me there at all. And personally, the way things are going, there's not going to be any value, period, for anyone in this really weird future. Oh, and just a quick heads up, if you guys want to go ahead and contact your local congressman or your local senators, I'm going to put the links from Stop Killing Games in the pinned comment down below to give you guys the blueprint of what you need to go ahead and reach out to everybody in your own state and even in DC. That way you guys will have it there and you'll be all set. But as always, if you want to see more of this kind of content though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and even live streams, subscribe to the channel. If you want Discord access or emotes during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. Look, if you don't want to spend the buck, don't even sweat it. Just come on down Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on this channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted with text-to-speech. It's actually insane. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. The live streams are a banger. Saturday nights, live, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Do you want even more of me, though? Check out Oh No, It's Alex Gaming. Link to that channel is in the description down below. New videos are out every single Monday, usually a bit more lighthearted than these on this channel, and we stream there daily as well, playing video games, hanging out, and getting you through your workday. It's actually really a lot of fun, and the community there is, in fact, fantastic. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Every day, 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., come on down and hang out. Oh No, It's Alex Gaming. Once again, link to that channel is in the description down below. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!